truly sorry.
Lily is never gonna change, and you are never gonna change. You're never gonna stop straining to find one tiny speck of redemption in Lily, and she's never gonna stop disappointing.
You're wrong. You don't know the whole story.
I don't want to know the whole story, Stefan. I don't want to know any more excuses or lies or anything that tells me anything other than the way that I know it went down.
She was trying to save us. We were gonna run away. I was gonna protect you boys. We were never gonna see him again.
You tried to steal my children from me. Should you ever attempt that again, I will take the boys far away from you. You will be alone and you will never see them again.
The last time I saw him was the day of my...
My mother was ripped out of my arms and sent to a TV ward. We don't move on from that. We find distractions. It's my mother. I'd give anything to have one more day with her.
The only thing I cared about more than leaving him was protecting your brother-in-law. I will never leave you again.
She tossed us aside without any concern of what would happen to us.
Everything that I did back then, I was doing for you. My sweet, sweet. Who do you think gave Kai the ideas of playing in that Sleeping Beauty cover?
Who?
Lily.
Punish me, torture me, kill me for all I care. But leave Elena out of this.
She wanted to make you pay for refusing to help rescue us from the prison world.
She's not a torso.
Malcolm was not a vase.
As far as I'm concerned, she deserves what she gets. Here's to moving on, right?
So moving on now. Damon! Mother!
Why do you care what they think?
Boys, out now. We've traded one monster for another.
The Lily that I remember
But I'm not going to let him hurt us anymore.
moves on from her children.
I have a plan. This version, this time we won't get caught, has no desire to see her children dead.
Mother's angel told me everything would be alright. She visited me.
Say something.
Did she visit you?
I must have missed it.
Of course I had a mother.
Then you know that love is different than any other kind of love.
I guess only one of us gets the luxury of time. Promise me you'll use yours to the fullest.
Stefan wrote about you all the time.
You made your bed. Have a nice nap.
Our mother faked her death, left her sons behind, started a new family, and went out of her way to forget us forever.
He loved you. He missed you.
That is the only story that matters.
Deserves what she gets.
Why?
Cannot decide what to say.
Angel has returned to you.
You could have just said goodbye.
There's something that's been nagging at me for a long time. I'm so sorry.
Who is that?
This Lillian Salvatore.
Your mother is alive?
Yep. Turns out she's been in a prison world snapshot of 1903 for over a century.
There was a time I marked days on a calendar. I gave up after a few years, but judging by your bizarre attire, you've been in here for over a century.
Yeah, I would have come by sooner, but I thought you were safe and sound in the family crypt.
Congratulations. Everything you know about your mom is wrong.
Your mother is alive.
She's a ripper, Elena.
I'm a ripper. All of the guilt you've carried for your lack of control, it's my fault, not yours. You get it from me.
Before the 1900s,
Your mother fell in with a group of witches that were cast out of the Gemini Coven. They were known as heretics, siphoners, like Kai. But not just that. Lily turned them. Tell me you have the Ascendant.
I can't. Because I don't.
Got away from me, so it's a really bad time to be a human.
What's going on?
You were right. We gotta lock her up.
What does he say?
Some things never change. Spare me your indignation. We both know I did you a favor.
Say something.
What did you want?
Brother, what did you want? My brother, stop lying to yourself!
Who did you want? In that moment, before you buried all your secrets.
My mother.
Well, it's too late.
This video is about instances of narcissist propaganda I've observed in the Vampire Diaries and the spin-off The Originals. I've talked in other videos about narcissist propaganda in The Originals, talking about ENTJ overt narcissist Klaus Michelson and how he has a lot of damage stories and blames being a psychopathic narcissist on his father abusing him as a child. When in reality, ENTJ types like Klaus are born that way, and they just want to milk the damage stories to try to get empathic people to invest in them. So I think that it's very important to understand that The Originals, even though it's my favorite show, and I think the story is executed in a beautiful, sophisticated way, that doesn't change the fact that it's full of sophisticated narcissist propaganda to make audiences believe things that are untrue about narcissists in reality. In reality, the outlier, uncommon, overt masculine narcissists like INTJ Dahlia, ENTJ Klaus are born that way with high intelligence and absence of affective empathy and overt narcissism, and no amount of empathic parenting or nurturing would have spared that outcome. And there's no possibility of fixing them, redeeming them, igniting their humanity, etc. So these types of narcissists, insisting it arose from trauma, are also trying to get people who are interested in fixing broken things to invest in them with these dishonest trauma stories. And they're also actively participating in a role swapping process, trying to put themselves in the place of the innocent party, put the innocent party in the place of the villain they truly are. One very important thing I want to point out also is the word empath is really missing from the entire Vampire Diaries and original script, and that's an intentional thing. And further, even narcissist isn't used at all either, and this is intentional. The Originals and the Vampire Diaries are some of the most sophisticated shows to represent the forces between good and evil and empaths and narcissists, and yet they intentionally left the word empath and narcissist out of the scripts completely. The most important words in the English language to describe the forces of good and evil in people throughout history are empath and narcissist. And lots of narcissists know this, and that's why they omit those words. And they try to muddy the waters and blur the lines and stir up confusion and leave things undefined and ambiguous. So if they were throwing around the word empath and narcissist, that would just be too accurate and too clearly representing the forces of good and evil in life. So to leave things less clear, they leave the word empath especially nowhere in the script, and they don't touch narcissist either. They say psychopath or sociopath. Narcissist and empath are really the key terms that are the absolutely most important to understanding the forces of good versus evil throughout human history. And that's why those two most important words are intentionally left out of the script in a show built on the foundation of sophisticated narcissist propaganda, trying to make people believe false things about narcissists. So when I use psychopath, I think it refers to the less common variety of narcissists that is born with much higher than average intelligence and an absence of effective empathy, like the INTJ and ENTJ. Otherwise, I don't use many other distinctions other than empath and narcissist, and borderline as the word narcissist made to project badness on empaths, and is understood to be emotional dysregulation disorder due to intense emotions experienced as born intuitive empaths in a majority population of narcissists. Another line that is narcissist propaganda is when INTJ Dahlia says, "Darkness isn't born, it's created by the snuffing out of the light." So that is again supposed to spread the view that outlier overt narcissists like ENTJ Klaus and INTJ Dahlia were not born that way, as psychopathic overt masculine narcissists with absence of affective empathy. They were made evil by the people abusing and disappointing them in life. The real truth and reality, INTJ and ENTJ are born overt masculine narcissists with absence of affective empathy. And then while they're trying to pull off the sophisticated good brother, bad brother dichotomy with INFJ Stefan and ENTP Damon, they have Damon trying to make Lily look just as bad as they're trying to make Damon look, and as bad as Klaus looks, like a narcissist that needs redemption or someone evil that needs redemption. And then INFJ Lily Salvatore telling Stefan, I'm a ripper. All of your guilt for not being able to control yourself, it's my fault. You got it from me. So, like, the show's trying to tell us that being a psychopathic overt narcissist, metaphorical vampire, is not genetic, and Dahlia and Klaus aren't just born that way, they're made that way from abuse or trauma. But INFJ Stefan, by this implication, genetically inherited being a ripper, especially kind of emotionally intense, guilt-ridden, emotionally dysregulated vampire. How does that make sense? The truth is that being an empath like INFJ Stefan is genetically inherent, and they're born as empaths, and that's what he inherited from Lily. He inherited her intuitive empath personality that's emotionally intense and experiences emotional dysregulation. They're not born as borderlines because it's the trauma that comes from their emotional intensity and dysregulation that causes empaths to turn into borderlines. So it is borderlines that are made, not born, since borderlines are traumatized empaths. But empaths and narcissists are born, not made. Ripper is a word made for empaths that have turned into borderlines and are out vampiring vampires or out narcissisting narcissists due to their emotional intensity and emotional dysregulation inherent in their personalities. All of the Rippers are empaths. So the whole series is trying to project badness on empaths and make them just as bad as narcissists, primarily by turning all the empaths into vampires, which is a metaphor for narcissists. And then they have the whole Ripper thing where they try to make the empaths look even worse than the narcissists because their emotional intensity made their bloodlust express in a more intense way. It makes me think of how Hitler's an empath. Everyone thinks if someone's genocidal, it's time to throw the word psychopath around, but no. Empaths can be far more dangerous than psychopaths, and the reason is because of the emotional intensity and drive. I've said in other videos, like, psychopaths not only have the absence of affective empathy, but this leads them to have a reduced pain sense. So just about nothing pains them. So if nothing is really paining them, they don't have any motivation to try to fix things by being genocidal. But the empath feels more pain than the average person, and the pain drives them to want to fix problems to end the pain. So the emotional intensity of being an empath can lead them to be genocidal like Hitler, and then give fuel to the people like INTJ Sam Vaknin online who are saying, like, empaths are vicious, far more vicious than narcissists. Narcissists need to project badness on empaths, and empaths appear to out-narcissists in many ways because of their pains and emotional drives the psychopath doesn't have. The male empaths especially out-narcissists because they have the gender dysphoria adding to their pains in life.